from all walks of life. This is Bigger Than Race. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Bigger Than Race. Exposure to all things true, whether you like it or not. With unique perspectives from different beings from all walks of life. This is Bigger Than Race. Investigate truth on your own terms.
Welcome back to Bigger Than Race. You know who this is. This is your boy, Brando. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. Happy Sunday to you. Good morning, good night, good afternoon. I hope you got your tea and crumpets and your sandwiches because, ladies and gentlemen, today we are going to dive in. We're actually going to recap on something that we spoke about some time ago. And it's very bullish information. And just like I said then, we have found the truth. And they always say, the truth will set you free. So on the way in, ladies and gentlemen, please hit the like button so that we can reciprocate the gratitude and that we all may be prosperous in that moment. Now, ladies and gentlemen, today I have a special guest who's going to be on the show. It's good because he's actually a BTR community member. He's very active, and I appreciate his perspective and his love for the community and what we're building. He's a tier 3 member. He's making money. He's doing his thing, and he has brought a deep connection, which led me to know that I was not crazy. And we're talking about the DAV network. So, ladies and gentlemen, I'm not going to tear it too long. We're going to just go and dive right in. So, let's get it popping, ladies and gentlemen. But before we do just that, let's bring my man on to the screen. Byron, what's going on, sir?
Hello. How we doing? We doing good.
Yes, we're doing good. Everything okay?
Oh yeah, we all good.
Good.
Trying to get this content out here, repping at tier 3.
Absolutely. You already know. And we appreciate your contribution, man. Honestly, man, you've been holding us down from the beginning, and you're always spreading the message. So it's greatly appreciated. So man, let's just dive right in. There's a lot of going on. And before we dive into this beautiful content, on the screen, you see DAV Network. You see the Mobi, Mobility. You see Amazon, Beacon, XYO, and Lane Access. Ladies and gentlemen, this is the Uber of freight. These are changes that are happening through blockchain, and DAV Network is the open source technology that they're all building on top of and connecting. It is why it's still present on the Mobility's Mobi's website. And it is hidden in plain sight, ladies and gentlemen. But this here is going to wake you up to understand that we are not playing games. You better pack your bags, because if not, you just gonna watch me do my dance.
I said, oh my dream, let me do my dance. I got all of these girls in the rave on the progress bras. Big back with the cycle shots, looking like Todd and France. I got all of these eyes on me when I do my dance.
Let's go!
I said, oh my dream, let me do my dance. I got all of these girls in the rave on the progress bras. Big back with the cycle shots, looking like Todd and France.
Live stream Bigger Than Race.
All of these eyes on me when I do my dance. I just linked the bro to the back of the market, said I got the sweetest packet. Then I go hop on that magic carpet, man, I go fly like a ladder. But the thing up on spots, more shirt on the M way, hustling with no lacking. She look about that timepiece, wrist look pricey, man, I get the peas out like that. Then no subtractions, no got a bad day with me, looking all risky, putting in action. Plus you wanna pause for the thing, no captions. Got me powering up captains, I keep it low with the bro, trying to get a little money like Richard Branson. I put her in the Emporio Miley, so I hop up in the whip, baby, in the khaki. Getting all goody like shit on Charlie, when I'm running about weed up with the cat. She know I'm living in life.
Hey!
I'm missing that day with Sprite.
Hey!
Give it the time of a life.
Woo!
You know how we rolling in life.
Woo!
Chilling with Emily, she do the remedy, you know she's staying tonight. I'll give her something she loves, you know she here for the run. Got the best of your life. You know she hit for the ride.
I said, hold my drink. Let me do my dance. Hey!
Big back with the sack of shots. Looking like Tony Brown. I got all of these eyes on me.
If you are not happy in crypto, I don't know what to tell you.
All of these girls in a rave on the book like France. Big back with the sack of shots. Looking like Tony Brown. I got all of these eyes on me when I do my dance. Man kept struck the
Hey, I got all of these eyes on me when I do this dance. Ladies and gentlemen, I had to get you hyped up. I got to let you know that I am authentic and I have to do this as me. So we're going to do this the right way, and we're going to open it up with Dav Network. Because as I said, if you ever want to know the truth, you got to visit the past. Let's go.
The most exciting thing I see is the ability for DAV to be the key enabler of that internet transport.
What I see the DAV network doing is accelerating the safety and reliability of autonomous vehicles.
Laying the protocol, the foundation for the transportation industry.
That to me is just the obvious next step.
DAV is an open transportation protocol. It enables us for the first time to create an open source, peer-to-peer global transportation network. This network includes anything, anyone involved in moving people and objects from place to place.
You've got to have a way for our to integrate the transportation systems, whatever they may be.
They're providing a network, a platform, and a set of APIs that make it possible for them to sort of help weave together all these disparate entities. And I think that'll make it much easier to sort of interface with the field.
I want you to understand and look at the people who are a part of this, the advisors. And if you go and research these individuals, you will see them still at these companies, like the lady from SAP. Ladies and gentlemen, this is legit. This is as real as it gets.
Real as it gets.
You're not going to believe us until the price goes to the moon, and then your ass will start buying and trying to catch up. But see, that's what people do who are late to the party. Over here at Bigger Than Race, we like to be the early birds, and you know it always gets the worm. Now, I need to get some more likes, please. I mean, we only got like 11 likes. We got 30-something people. Have a little gratitude, ladies and gentlemen. I haven't even eaten any chicken wings yet, and I'm out here delivering this content. So let's continue.
World of transportation.
And I think DAV is set up to operate across a pretty large scale there.
We started last January in Moscow. In this first POC, I was able to use my phone to connect to the DAP network, discover all the drones around me, and sign a smart contract with one of them for delivery services. This May, we connected another service, this time by Grad, based in Nevada. Grad has detailed 3D maps of many locations, no-fly zones, and a lot of other information required to calculate routes for drones. For our next POC, we connected the number of charging stations to the network. We flew a drone above Berlin, and when that drone ran low on energy, it broadcasted the need to the entire DAP network. A charging station responded to the drone landed, got charged, and took off to continue its mission.
If you're trying to deliver a package and your drone needs to recharge itself, and you need to find a way for you to pick up that charge without owning an entire infrastructure of charging stations, it makes sense that for your business to operate, that you'd be able to leverage existing resources. So I feel like the DAV network is going to enable that capability.
The thing that I see with DAV is because it's an open platform that does encourage we will be able to transition more quickly to autonomous.
Well, the future is definitely autonomous.
Being able to do true autonomous operations is what's becoming a big push nowadays. We started with a drone that was able to fly from point A to B on its own. It also had severely limited range. But by allowing it to buy services and sell services, it is suddenly so much more powerful. And that's how you take a vehicle that was driverless and turn it truly autonomous.
Well, instead of predicting the future, you're here inventing it. You're laying out the fabric, the foundation, the protocol, the underlying plumbing to connect things and people on the network to enable them to communicate and transact and discover each other. DAV, it is to the future of transportation or what TCP/IP was to the internet.
DAV.
Ladies and gentlemen, did you not just hear what she just said? All right, Byron, can you just share a little thoughts real quick, please?
Well, for those that don't know, if for the internet, if it wasn't for TCP/IP, there would be no internet. Just based off the statement that she said just now. Essentially, what they're telling you in this video is that they're laying down the foundation for what's coming. And this was something that they've talked about years ago. And what we're going to get into a little bit later on is that we found one of the first applications of them applying what this group of people has developed.
Man, doesn't it make you want to hold your drink and do my dance? Let's finish this.
Stupid system. Steroids.
Let's get it.
More people see the potential in building such a network, and why DAV is the right thing to do that.
Ooh, look so pretty. I mean, ladies and gentlemen, the future is right here in your face. And sometimes you can't even see it because you're so blind. You only believe that a project is only real when people talk to you. But if you can read between the lines, you can see that they created an open source technology. They're not doing what IoTex is doing, where they need to be active in the community. They did their job and they left it. Now, we're not going to go into this DAV network website because we've already done that. We know what their mission is. And I encourage anybody to look at these people, go and look them up on LinkedIn, especially Priyanka, because she is still working at SAP. And a lot of these other people are. Do you have anything that you'd like to add to the DAV network website?
Yeah, as far as specifically what we're about to get into is the transportation aspect of it. These guys got with Ford, GM early on, and they were at the table helping to create this technology. Now, if you look at the people that are into freight forwarding, which is what we're about to get into in a moment, UPS is inside of this group as well. And the guy that's the UPS head who got nominated for his position, he actually has an interesting story himself. He started from the bottom. He was loading up packages on the trucks, and he worked his way up to be the CTO, the guy that's in charge, Mr. Jerome Ferguson. He worked his way all the way up into this position. And this position is a brand new position within UPS. So as far as this was set off light bulbs because, hey, you got a new position in UPS and this guy sitting on this board getting ready to implement or create some new technology. What is that about? You know, and like I said, his story is a fascinating one. It's coming from the bottom to the top. I'm glad he got this position. And yeah, that's what I got for right now.
Yeah, and he's right here on the screen, Director of Autonomous Systems at UPS. Portfolio includes the application of UAVs, drones, driverless vehicles, and robotics in supply chains. A logistics and emerging technology expert with 31 years at UPS. Holds an undergraduate degree in industrial engineering from Rutgers and a master's in management information technology from NJIT. Devoted to his family and is motivated to build a better world for all. Ladies and gentlemen, that is all Bigger Than Race has been trying to do. Show you the future so that you can build a better future for you and your family. Now, let's continue to go down because Byron mentioned the connections. And if you can see here, the DAV Alliance. The DAV Alliance brings together members of the transportation industry so that we may collaborate on standards and innovations for a global decentralized network. Now, the Mobi is the Mobility Open Blockchain Initiative. Mobi is very powerful because it's connecting all of these companies, especially in the blockchain world and the mobility world, to this new wave of doing things. And Mobi, I've seen companies on the Mobi website. They leave, they come. But DAV has never gone anywhere. It has stayed stagnant, hidden in plain sight. Now, a lot of these are drone companies, but we also see another crypto, XYO.
There we go.
Provides decentralized verified location data for transport assets on the DAV network. Now, XYO was on the mobility website, but I think they always got to show you something before they do it. Sometimes they play games because this was such an undervalued gem that they had to hide it. So let's go to the XYO website real quick. XYO Foundation, a blockchain foundation for all. The XYO Foundation offers resources to educate individuals, developers, and enterprises who are excited about the possibilities of a location-based data network built on shared. Now, they do a lot of other things, and I'm going to let my brother Byron speak on the XYO after we bring you to the partnerships. Now, it says the importance of partnerships. The XYO Foundation works on open source code. Open source is what DAV built, an open source protocol. Now, open source code with education of the protocol in mind. Maximum benefit of this education is only possible with industry partnership to drive the usage of this protocol. If you'd like to partner, simply fill out this form. Yeah, I want to partner with your ass. Right. Break it down.
Now, here we go. Like, again, today we're talking about the transportation aspect. But if you looked at DAV, you already know that UPS was already involved. Switching over to XYO, what name jumps at you right now? FedEx. So now you got UPS and FedEx. It's going to be using the same technologies. Harmony One, if you're not on that, that medical industry, having to do with nodes and all that stuff. We'll get into that later, but you got Remax on there. Chainlink is a part of this. And as we have tried to make the connection, and I think we've done, is that DAV is involved with it. This XYO Foundation, I believe, is going to be huge, and it's going to give us a lot of gems because of the partnerships they have. Again, they're a part of the mobility network, part of Microsoft, Nuggets. Everything that XYO is building is pretty much what they're doing is putting their technology spin on what they want to create, and they're giving it out to these companies. Okay. Right now on XYO, they have a app called Coin where you can essentially earn tokens. Right now, if you go into that app and see what that's about, it's all about pinpoint location of GPS locations. And right now they're giving you like, hey, earn this coin and you can win a television. Well, pretty much they're using us as the test people to help out their technology. And I'm okay with that because I know what the end game is. But if you haven't downloaded Coin already, you need to jump on that and earn what you can.
Earn it like clockwork. GeoMine is.
Yep. GeoMine and get your coin.
Got to get the coin. If you ain't getting the coin, you ain't happy in crypto. And all we want to do is lead you to the wealth.
Yes.
It's not so hard to do. I don't understand why that is. Ladies and gentlemen, we told the Bigger Than Race community to get on DAB. We told the Patreon members to get on XYO. But see, we had to cure up the noise, because when we brought this information the first time, a lot of individuals talking like we don't know what we're talking about, like we just bringing you false information with no receipts. We come back with the facts.
Facts.
I don't even like getting receipts when I'm at a store or something, but these receipts you gonna take. Now, you want to touch anything else on XYO, brother?
No. For right now, that's the most. Pretty much just keep top of mind, because that's what happens when we get into these projects too early. Is that you lose sight of what these people have done in the past, and if you can keep track of what they've done in the past, when something new comes up in the future, you'll be like, hey, wait a minute, I heard about that before. Let me go back and touch on this. And this is exactly what DAV was. Like, we already had the core foundation of what DAV was, and we just out here looking at stuff come up, and just playing around with apps. XYO came up, to tell you the truth. I'm like, what in the world is this? Wait a minute, I've seen this before. I know what they're doing. Let me go back. And boom, connection made. And making that connection led to the next connection that we're about to get into a little bit later.
Yes, rabbit holes on top of rabbit holes. When you go down the world of Alice in Wonderland, you never know what you're going to find. Other day, I found a chicken wing that was eaten by an alien. Let's continue to go down the merry-go lane of DAV Network.
Anybody knows what this is? This is the elevator lever. This is how all elevators used to work with. You'd have human operators pushing those, deciding when the elevator goes up, when it goes down, when it stops, when people get out. The problem with anything that humans do is that sometimes they make mistakes. And when the elevator operators make mistakes, people would get hurt. So, elevator companies started putting in buttons, safety stops, sensors. And soon enough, we didn't really need elevator operators inside the elevator, but still this operator is pressing buttons. Why is he doing that? He's doing that because it took years for people to get comfortable traveling in this elevator that goes up and down without the human driver inside. Today, people are much more comfortable doing that. And autonomous vehicle technology is getting to that point. This is an autonomous shuttle. This is actually happening. It's driving without a driver in Switzerland. This shuttle is driving over 60,000 people today. This is Reykjavik in Iceland. To get from that green dot to the blue dot, you have to cross all that body of water. It takes over 14 minutes with a car, but an autonomous drone can do that in less than half the time. And a company called Flightrest is doing that these days. This is really happening, drone deliveries, autonomous drone deliveries in Iceland. This is an autonomous robotics platform. Not only that, but it's also open source, so any developer can adapt it to their needs. This is Baidu's open source autonomous car. And all these aerial vehicles are powered by an autonomous autopilot called PX4. It's also open source. So what is the problem then? The problem is that the companies at the forefront of autonomous technology are designing their solutions as individual networks. Waymo is designing its own network, and Uber its own network, Lyft its own network, their own users, their own vehicles, their own applications, their own developers. If this reminds you of something, it's because we've seen that before. This is how the internet used to look like in the 1990s. These were the companies at the forefront of technology. You had CompuServe, you had Prodigy, you had AOL. You would pay them a subscription and go on to their version of the internet. It was only when we decided on an open protocol for how internet traffic is formatted and sent and received that we enabled this explosion of innovation. So, we at DAV would like to do the same thing with transportation. Instead of isolated silos by each vehicle company, we're creating a decentralized network. A network that is not owned by any company, but on which every company can participate, can collaborate, can innovate. The DAB Open Protocol defines how vehicles and users communicate with each other, discover each other, and a token through which they transact with each other. The DAB open source platform is available on GitHub. We have a community of developers working on it. It's designed to be easily integrated into any autonomous vehicle platform. It's written in any language the developers are used to working with, and it enables them to connect their vehicles to the blockchain without knowing anything about blockchain.
See, we're just going to stop there because they are just telling you that they set it up. People think because you're in crypto and they're used to having a community or Telegram that has a lot of action in it, they can't read in between the lines. They do not have to tell you what they are doing, but they tell you in so many ways without telling you. You need to pay attention to the silence and why you're not hearing about something, why the community is not as popular as a Tron. Not everything is meant to appease you, the investor. It's meant to appease the overall objective of the fourth industrial revolution. And DAV Network is at the helm of it, whether you believe it or not. And so is XYO. I had the same thoughts. Me and Byron both shared the same thoughts about XYO. But then I saw that it was on an upcoming Coinbase list. And it was so cheap. And you could make a lot of money on cheap stuff in crypto. Byron, you want to speak on anything?
Yeah, like the key thing in that video, I think he touched on repeatedly, is that they learned from the past on what happened with the internet and why, these companies like AOL, CompuServe, and all that stuff went out of business, is because they primarily operated as a centralized company. And once a technology was created as to where people can build on top of a technology, then we saw what we see today, where we have Google and Microsoft and all these different companies all prospering from learning from each other. And that's I think is a lesson that they took from the past with the internet boom. And right now they're trying to start this off the right way. Hey, look, we're going to create this technology, and instead of having UPS, or specifically in this case, since we're going to be talking about it later, is Uber, having a specific technology that they only have, and like good luck to everybody else creating it. So now we have open source, which is created by all these companies coming together. All of their failures, guess what? Hey, we failed here, but guess what? We didn't fail here. This worked. So guess what? When we build this technology, we're going to fix that problem that this company had. So that as a collective going forward, as long as you have a good product, good brand, you're going to be successful. Like, they literally tell you that right there.
See, there it is. Ladies and gentlemen, it's not rocket science. It's just you got to do a little digging. And now, I believe from the XYO connection, we saw Lane Access as one of their partners. And I'll show you this right here. Byron actually discovered this. Where are they at?
Oh, no, they're actually not here. It was a press release that came out saying that Lane Access was using some technology from the XYO network. And that press release, like, okay, so since the eyes were on Lane on XYO, like what is this Lane Access? And right. Man, beautiful. So if you look at the DAV technology videos and what Brando just played, specifically they're talking about Uber. And essentially that last video we just played talked about how Uber was centralized and how they wanted to move away from that. I'll go into a little bit later about, that model that they have, but yeah, I'll let you proceed, B.
Yeah, and this right here is just to confirm that Lane Access, XYO partners with Lane Access and DAV Network. We'll be working with 2 transportation-focused projects to help improve data collection and cut out the middlemen in peer-to-peer transactions. So always back it up with the receipts, because then you can't combat that.
Oh,
Now,
I'm gonna pause you right there. I'm gonna pause you right there, B.
yes,
So
sir.
for anybody that has anybody that's a trucker right now, like the first part of this video is for us that's in the crypto. Like if you come across somebody, because we know there's people that don't even want to talk the word. This project right here will, I guarantee you, get every trucker that's on the road today looking at cryptos. Not really crypto, but maybe looking at this project that they're about to launch. And actually, it's launched already. They're actually running a test on it. But this project specifically will put money in their pockets when they're sitting around idle and can't get loads. Like, it is truly amazing about what they have created right now, and it is actually running and being used today.
And you said it's the Uber of what?
It's the Uber of freight.
Now, ladies and gentlemen, this is the real deal. And now
Real.
what in if it may not bring the truckers awareness to crypto, but it would bring them to the blockchain, which is where a lot of these companies are adopting the technology and utilizing blockchain so that they can create better opportunities and more opportunities using the new technology of the fourth industrial revolution. I'm a big picture thinker. And my mind is on the big picture, and I need to look for little pieces that fill in those puzzle. The puzzle has to be filled, and these are clues right here. And I know people out here they would question my sanity, but I'd be willing to put money on the line if you would like to take the bet. I believe that much in myself of the wizardry that this lane access, DAV network, XYO will all bring exponential returns on investment. Now let's dive into this video. Now we both have skin in the game already. So I'm going to let Byron break this down after this video plays, giving you a little insight on lane access. But ladies and gentlemen, this is all a doozy, and you're going to want to stick to the end. And those who don't, you will miss the boat. Let's go.
The top pain points in the industry are really around visibility. That's first and foremost. So the capacity of trucks, don't know where the capacity of freight is. The second one is about where is this at in the cycle? Today you're blind, but the freight, once it gets picked up, both the shipper and the receiver have no idea where that freight is at. If there's a problem, there's no predictability. If you think about every other part of your life, you have data. You have data in your house to make decisions. It's really remarkable that such an important part of our economy has absolutely no data, no insight to be able to make informed decisions. Lane access fixes that. The time is right for lane access because we've got infrastructure that's out in the past. We've got full connectivity. The economics of data have changed. And the actual independent truck drivers are ready to engage. Our objective is to make it work better, work faster, provide companies, truckers with information that makes their process better, makes them more profitable, improves their lives. We view that as valuable. We view that as valuable to middle class in America. We view that as valuable to moving freight more efficiently. We view that as valuable to making our economy work better. And that's really what we're trying to do.
Boom. Now, ladies and gentlemen, I used to drive for Lyft, okay? And you could just plug in and get some money when you want to get some money. Now, truckers now will have the same opportunity with lane access. Now, Byron, I'll let you take it away.
Yeah, so with lane access, when we're saying that this is the Uber of freight, pretty much what this program is about is an app that a trucker would download. Right now, from what I was told, is that there aren't a lot of loads because they are going into the process of testing it right now. But essentially, how truckers use this right now is they'll jump on a load board right now. They'll finish their load, and let's just say they're parked in California somewhere, and their next pickup is not until Florida. So, truckers don't like to lay around and not collect money or even drive without taking a load somewhere. Well, what's going to happen with this is he's sitting in California. He could jump on the lane access app, and something from California to Mississippi. He's going to be able to run that load to Mississippi, all while getting paid. Like their motto is like, hey, we want to use as much unused miles as miles getting paid as possible. And talking to some truckers that already use it, okay, already use it. They use this to supplement their income. Like right now, it's not a fully done network because again, they're testing it, but these people right now are making money just off the lows that they have right now. Not even the institutional people have set into it yet, and I've already been told that they are getting ready to drop loads of money into it because this will save them money. This model that they're using blockchain for freight, it cuts out the broker. Like 30% in fees is saved. You don't think somebody like FedEx or Prime Trucking or anybody, if somebody can save 30% on shipping the same freight they would be shipping anyway, you don't think they would do that?
Yeah, without a doubt.
They
all want to save money. And somebody mentioned about autonomous trucks. Autonomous vehicles will be making money also. Just look at how that happens with using Fetch AI, which they are also a part of the mobility. You see, ladies and gentlemen, this is all about interoperability. Not one thing is going to be left to do it all by itself. In order to have a good church, you got to have a pastor who's a good pastor that is able to bring the congregation. Right?
Pastor Wizard.
Now, this is exactly what the blockchain is. It's a pastor who is bringing nothing but the truth and is allowing the congregation to build up on top of it to have a joyous and prosperous future. See, ladies and gentlemen, you can come and invest in lane access on Start Engine. It has already been previously crowdfunded. They've already, almost sold out of this one. So you would essentially be on a waiting list, but I'm sure they'll take your money. But we don't have a lot of time. When opportunity arises, you need to strike. Now, he already went over this and broke it down. You guys can come here and actually read the specifics for yourself. We just need to get this info out to you. Now, we're going to go here to the Lane Access website, which they do have a U.S. patent, which takes things to another level.
Yeah, and how it was explained to me is that when it comes to shipping freight, their patent is the patent. Nobody can come behind them, let's say Uber or Lyft, and take that over.
But who did you speak to that gave you that info?
The AAO. It's an organization that Lane Access has partnered with for truckers. These guys offer insurance services and it's almost like a union, but not. Okay. And whenever a trucker joins Lane Access, they get that membership for free. Free. So now, not only like I don't know if I want to get into it on here, but I'll just drop a nugget. Like the big thing with rideshare companies is that these folks didn't have insurance or didn't have access to the financial services that you would if you were an employer of, let's say, FedEx or somebody. Well, guess what? Lane Access already thought that out and partnered with the people that actually provides you those services. And on top of that, you're going to be able to keep more of your money because of it. And also too, like on the website, the AAOO, that association, I tell people, hey, go look that up and see exactly what it is they do. A couple of truckers I talked to, they didn't even know about it. And, Lane Access is specifically partnered with this organization.
It's right on the screen. A joint venture by Lane Access and AAOO. Lane Access is pleased to partner with the American Association of Owner-Operators, the fastest growing association for owner-operators and small fleets in America, to extend this incredible benefit to all active Freight Vision members. Ladies and gentlemen, can you not see the future? Now, I know this wizardry is mad. You're wondering how do they do it? But when you are connected and you have a divine connection, ladies and gentlemen, the info just popped. Yeah, I think some of you guys need to be woke up real quick.
In a room and changed my life. Putting in the work all day in the evenings, why never sleeping, always on grind. Get it diving like David Seaman, talking about feelings, talking all high. Talking about just cause a man's Nigerian, doesn't mean man I got the green and the white to the arch, that thing, baby, arch. Back that thing, I'm a party. When a man walk in, I'm a lucky. To the past, that thing, I'm a sparky. What you know about the life I live, man, skipping it real, not living a lie. Lockdown's got man looking his tears, man, catching a flag, go straight to the fire. I said,
hold my drink.
Let me do my dance. I got all of these girls in the rave on the complex bars. Big back with the cycle shots, looking like Tony France.
Ladies and gentlemen, I don't know about you, but Byron, you smell what I smell.
Money.
A whole lot of it. Ladies and gentlemen, who is Rick Burnett? This is the founder and CEO at Lane Access. Now, upon your research on him, what were your thoughts, Byron?
Just listen to stuff that he spoke to in the past and his history. This guy is a advocate for the trucker. Essentially, his whole mission, from what I've seen, is to help cut costs so that people have more money in their pocket. Seems like he's a genuine guy, and he took that experience and his passion and brought it into blockchain. And it's just been his mission to get this going, and now is the time for it to shine. Like literally, this stuff is already implemented and done. They're raising money right now. They're the company that he helped create is it's already SEC approved. So as far as like people like, oh, I don't know if I get into it because of regulatory issues. Guess what? There is no regulatory issues on this. These guys are in the game on Wall Street and in the crypto world. And this is, what we need to be looking at as a community as to what type of companies we need to invest in the future. Like, the Wall Street, stock market, all that stuff right there, as much as people say, oh yeah, it's going to go away and blow up. Look, as a country, as people of this country, we don't want that to happen. We want to invest in the companies that are going to merge into Wall Street, go public, do what they got to do, and promote the crypto world, which we're getting into a little bit later.
Ladies and gentlemen, it is just so much beast of a beast. Now, he mentioned the crypto world. Now we had to just jump to the screen. Byron, I'll let you take it away.
Yeah, as far as right now, the opportunity that they're giving you is if you invest inside of Lane Access, which Lane Access, the minimum investment is $298. You are then an investor in the company on the stock market side. Okay. On the crypto side, they have a token called the Access token. And from my understanding is the Access token will be used as a currency inside of this payment network. So freight forwarders will buy the Access token as they hand out freight. They'll manage this stuff themselves. A trucker, jump on the Lane Access app, pick up the load, bring it to where they got to bring it to, and then that person gets paid in Access tokens. And then from Access tokens, that trucker has the opportunity to either convert it to fiat or keep it in his wallet. And as we know with crypto, hey, look, if you keep it, it may be worth something more in the future. So, this is a genius idea, man, and it's like huge, beyond huge. Specifically, like I said, for like people that don't want to get involved in crypto, just like other cryptos, you don't in this system, you don't necessarily have to go to an exchange and buy it. If you're a trucker and you want to earn extra money, guess what? You can just do what you do already, and you're earning crypto.
But it does say the access token will be listed on exchanges in 2021.
Yes, it will. And that's the advantage for us, because if you decide to invest in the company, which, and I said the minimum investment is $298 right now through the 21st, April 21st, which is in what, 3 days? When you buy your tokens, they're going to give you an additional 30% on what you buy. I think it's right at the top. Actually, yeah, it is right at the top, the token pre-list. So for the BTR community, this is huge. Huge.
Ladies and gentlemen, I hope you got your popcorn. I hope you got your crackers and cheese. You can go quickly make a peanut butter and jelly sandwich, but please don't burn the toast and take the edges off, because I never. Now, here is a talk: blockchain trucking and freight shipping. We're gonna play about 4 minutes of it. But from what I understand, this is everything wrapped up in a nutshell. Now let's crack it open.
So a massive warm welcome to the show. Can you tell the listeners a little about who you are and what you do?
Yeah, my name is Rick Burnett, and I'm the CEO and founder of Lane Access, which we focus on the supply chain industry on a global scale, looking to build a direct network between shipper, manufacturer, people that need to move product directly to a carrier, transportation, trucking company, down to the driver level, and pushing all this functionality into the blockchain.
So, like you said there, it is a virtual freight management system that seeks to disrupt the shipping industry correctly.
Yo.
Uh-oh. They don't want us to hear something.
They're trying to block us, y'all. We got to hear this. Let's try it one more time.
Do have track the products
in that particular industry and unaware of the kind of problems and all the middlemen that are involved.
We focus on the supply chain industry on a global scale, looking to build the direct network between shipper, manufacturer, people that need to move product directly to a carrier, transportation, trucking company, down to the driver level, and pushing all this functionality into the blockchain.
So, like you said there, it is a virtual freight management system that seeks to disrupt the shipping industry by directly connecting shipper and carriers via a proprietary blockchain network. But can you just set the scene a little?
Real quick, we got 65 watching, and we only got 36 likes and 1 thumbs down from the ass. Please hit the like button up, ladies and gentlemen. And to the hater who is still watching with a thumbs down, I see you on every video. Shouts out to you. Now, let's get the likes up real quick, and we will continue on. 39. Come on, ladies and gentlemen. Don't be greedy. All this bullishness and you holding back likes. Let's go.
And tell the listeners a little bit more about exactly what it is and what problems you set out to solve. Because there's going to be some people that are not in that particular industry and unaware of the kind of problems and all the middlemen that are involved.
Yeah, so great question. You know, supply chain affects all of us that are listening to this, because this is the actual food that we eat, the products, you know, clothes that you wear, various different products that you use, consume on a day-to-day basis. And so today it's entrenched in labor processes, phoning, faxing, paperwork. A lot of people wouldn't realize that over 90% of all the movements on a global scale rely on this type of phoning, faxing, and antiquated, outdated systems. A lot of big corporations do have tracking on the internal systems, but anytime they move outside their network, which is a large time on a day-to-day basis, they lose that visibility. So what Lane Access is focused on is really a 3-legged stool. One of the legs being a proprietary blockchain, so standardizing transportation movement, which is moving product from point A to point B. We're tracking that in real time, pushing the subsets of the contract, insurance verification in the blockchain, the geofence location of the pickup and the delivery in the blockchain, and then all electronic documentation that's verified inside the blockchain. Parallel, which would be the second stool, would be building the actual driver network. The individual, let's call it Facebook for truckers. The socialization piece, that these millions of drivers on a global scale can interact, socialize, exchange information, and then utilizing the token inside the network, gain reward system, if you will, for the various different products that they use inside the various different truck stops on a global scale, rebates on gas, consumption of products, food, shower, all the various different things they utilize. And then third would be the integration subsets, because there's a myriad of different integration points that, shippers, manufacturers use. So we're going to standardize that so it's very easy, and within a few seconds be able to click and tender loads into the system and drill directly to the carrier down to the driver level.
So when you
this seems like heaven for truckers. I want to become a truck driver.
Might want to, man. That's what I'm
gonna be a vegan truck driver though, because I gotta maintain my slender. You know what I'm saying? Shoot, I ain't eating no Carl's Jr. No, none of that. Shit, what you eating on, Red? I'm eating on a invisible burger. I can't eat nothing because. Let's continue. We got a couple more minutes.
You set out on your mission to improve this industry. I've got to ask, why blockchain technology? Can you tell me a little bit more about the story behind embracing this technology and why you felt it was not only so important, but also the perfect fit over those more traditional methods?
Yeah, unlike probably other industries, blockchain is a necessity in order to build the network, because today there is a large portion of these loads that's moved by a broker or third-party entity. And so blockchain allows the direct connectivity and to carve out that on an average 30% cost. So can you imagine every listener having a reduction in their food prices and their gas prices and the products that they consume on a day-to-day basis of 30%? And how do you come up with that? Well, how you come up with that is that's the margin of that or greater today, because there isn't blockchain in this industry. There isn't a trusted source. There has to be a middleman that manages the contract, that manages the insurance, that manages the day-to-day movement, that manages paying the actual delivery of that. So this is a massive $9 trillion industry that, by blockchain being implemented on down to the daily movement, will carve a massive amount of cost savings across the globe.
So, damn. So they said they're utilizing blockchain. I'm hearing about people saying DAV network isn't operating anymore. What do you have to say about that?
Man, they're fools to think that DAV network has created what the future will be. This man just told you, his technology alone, if you want to save 30% on gas, this is done, that will happen. 30% on food. And keep in mind, folks, like inflation and all that stuff is suspended right now. So guess what? Once the food prices go up, I mean, will 30% be a hefty savings for you? I think so.
Hell yeah.
It will be for me. You know?
I'll take that 30% all the time. Let's continue. We're almost done here with this, and then we're going to take you on to some bigger connections. And this is the Mac Daddy of them all. Huh?
Like you said a few moments ago, the trucking industry is currently relying on outdated tech, fraught with paper trails, long wait times, and numerous middlemen, and that all adds up to the cost, because they all take advantage of independent truckers by pitting them in a race to the bottom competitors for load. So where do you begin to tackle that kind of culture where pain points and friction are not only expected, but they're almost accepted, aren't they?
Yeah, so that's really our plea out to the audience, is to get behind, our initiative. We really need to reach our hard cap, which will allow us to run the three-legged stool parallel. So, we have to build this network, which is the socialization piece. So what it does by building that interaction, and that's going to take a groundswell effort at these localized, truck stops to actually get the free app, to have the truck drivers interaction. But what we gain by that is we gain a location base. As we gain the location base, paralleling with, we're an existing business. We have patents in the U.S. around shipper carrier optimization platform is, our patent. We have several claims around that functionality. And as we push that into the blockchain and add that functionality of the blockchain, we're building that network so that, and paralleling with the integration, so it's going to be very easy for a shipper to deal directly with the carrier, and it's going to be utilized by the access of our API token. So the environment and the technology and the actual platform network that we're building is free. You have to access it via the access token to utilize the utility portion of it that is the data sets to access the network.
So what were your biggest?
Wow, that's big. Byron, you could touch back on that, and then we're going to just lead him over here to this article with Jeff Bezos leads investment in British logistics startup Beacon Technologies.
Yeah, so the key thing in that whole conversation is that the word patent, the word only. These people are the only people with this patent to do what they're doing. And you can talk to your people in the trucking world, or if you're a trucker yourself, and you're listening in on this, you may know that Uber tried to do this at one point. And it's not confirmed, but connecting dots, like, why did they leave? Why did they shut it down? Is it because of lane access? Because of their patent? Because of what they got going on? But that question leads to this next piece that we about to go into, and it's bullish.
Boom. So do you want to give a highlight on the article?
Yeah, essentially, right now, as everybody know, that Jeff Bezos stepped down from Amazon. And if you follow Jeff Bezos, like, people follow Warren Buffett, I happen to follow Jeff Bezos. I like to know where the money moving. Like, people's like, oh, Jeff Bezos, he's finally going to enjoy all the money he's got. If you know Jeff Bezos, he don't care about money. He care about advancing Amazon into everything in this world, as far as drone deliveries. If you remember about a year, 2 years ago, Amazon wants to do drone deliveries. Then you hear about news in articles about, hey, he wants to buy old closed down locations in shopping malls so that they can do their drone deliveries out of it. What technology are they going to use to have pinpoint applications to actually do that? What other system is there where he can get out there and make these dreams reality? Well, if you don't know, if everybody's familiar with the Starlink project, Elon Musk has, well, at the time, he was the only person with FCC approval to have these satellites up in low orbit. The benefit of having low orbit satellites providing data is that the accuracy of GPS locations are pinpoint. Unlike the high orbit satellites where maybe you're there, maybe you're not. The old days of when Garmin GPSs first came out and they would send you into train tracks or something, or into the lake, those days are over. Like, these GPS coordinates are going to be right to your doorstep. For Amazon to be successful in that, guess what? They have to have, if they're going to do drone deliveries, you got to make sure that these deliveries are straight to your house. So how would they do that? Would he pay Elon Musk to use his satellites for low orbit? Not Jeff Bezos. He wants his own. And if you go look up, Jeff Bezos is now the second person to have FCC approval to have satellites in low orbit. Now, he's going to have his satellites up there along with the technology from DAV and XYO, which will help him achieve exactly what he's trying to do. And being that he's doing that right now, this British company, Beacon Technologies, they are doing essentially the same thing that Lane Access does, but overseas. And the beautiful thing about that, as far as hey, is this really a connection? Well, the two executives that started Uber, guess where they're at? Beacon.
This is what they do, ladies and gentlemen. They start over here, then bring them over here, to the new technology. Listen, we can't make you see the future. And some people will have the eyes to see it and some don't. For you to sit here and comment saying that the project is dead when clearly it's being utilized, and the question is, why is it still on the mobility website? The only thing that matters, just like Brad Garlinghouse says, we don't measure success on a 5 months radius. 5 to 10 years out. They are positioning themselves right now. You have robots already delivering DoorDash. You have robots delivering Amazon packages. Drone deliveries are already happening. The reason why you see the DAV community not interacting with you, because they don't have to.
They packing their bags is what they doing.
Yes,
that's what they doing. They packing their bags.
They did the task that was needed to be done. And now the rest is history. Now we're going to watch the implementation of everything taken off. So, it just is what it is. This information is not for everybody. It is only those who have the eyes to see. Now, Beacon technology, the future of global freight forwarding is here. Simple, transparent, and reliable logistics. Stay in control of your logistics with full visibility, competitive prices, and trusted carriers, plus the financing to grow your business. Real-time tracking and support, trusted global carriers, and competitive prices, which is what Lane Access seems to be doing. Being competitive. Who do we see here? Our investors. XSPA, NEO, 8VC, Uber, Amazon, and Google. Oh, my God. So, Byron, talk to them a little bit about Beacon and why they need to pay attention. Beacon is aimed at the trillion-dollar freight forwarding industry, the booking agents between importers and exporters. So you mean to tell me, Byron, we are shaking up a multi-trillion-dollar industry with this blockchain technology?
Shaking it up, and not only shaking it up, but trying to become a monopoly on it. There's no one from what I can see that's doing the same thing that Beacon is doing. And, Jeff Bezos is the top investor in this company. Top investor. Like, this is where his money is. All that money that Jeff Bezos took out and cashed out his stock on, guess what? You don't think, do people honestly think that Jeff Bezos is going to take out his money and just live life the rest of his life? No, this dude is a workaholic. He a go-getter, a trendsetter. And, Beacon is that company that he's in, which later on we'll tie it back into our Lane Access. But this company is another one to watch. I haven't seen anything where they're public or where you can buy shares or anything. Like I said, I don't get into stock market, but Lane Access for sure on it.
Beacon launched in 2018 with a mission to become a global leader in logistics and trade finance by making trade simpler, more transparent, and reliable. Here are some of the members, the team, CEO and co-founder, Fraser Robinson from Uber, lastminute.com, and Morgan Stanley. Here is the COO and co-founder, Dimitri from Uber, and Oliver Wyman. And the CTO is from Amazon Logistics, Prime Video, and Microsoft. And then we see some of these partnerships over there on XYO. Yes, we did.
Was that?
We saw from XYO. Now, ladies and gentlemen, remember I told you the 6 degrees of separation. Things don't happen by mistake. It all is planned out. Now, Byron, I think you might just want to tie it all in with a nice little button, and we're going to close this one out. So to Lane Access, Amazon.
If you go to Lane Access, under their page of partnerships and developments, they actually show their technology partners. And you know, in the community, we already know that there isn't anything that's not a connection. If you scroll all the way down, it'll actually show all the people that they're partnered with as far as like providing services.
Where's it?
Hold on, let's see. It's under technology. Oh, let me see. Let me jump on. Yeah, click on technology. Scroll on. Yeah, this is the page. These are all the software services. Now scroll back up.
Right here.
And what you want to do is go to backend and database. Have that was company. Now go to infrastructure and services. And just pass your mouse over all of those that's right there.
So AWS is one among the big firms in cloud computing and a leader in infrastructure as a service. AWS Auto Scaling lets you build scaling plans that automate how groups of different resources respond to changes in demand. Redis is an open source in-memory data store that delivers sub-millisecond response times. Amazon Elastic Compute Cloud, Amazon EC2, is a web service that provides secure, resizable compute capacity in the cloud. The Amazon Relational Database Service is a web service that makes it easier to set up, operate, and scale a relational database in the cloud. Amazon CloudFront is a fast content delivery network service that securely delivers data, videos, applications, and APIs with low latency and high transfer speeds.
Now, I'm gonna throw this. So if you're a competitor, if you're competing for business, specifically in blockchain right now, if you have a competitor, somebody that you're against, would you be using their technology? Or does that look more like a semi-partnership, but not saying that you're a partner? Yeah. Because I know if I didn't want to be in bed with somebody, I surely wouldn't be using what they have so that they can have insight into my analytics.
Absolutely.
Amazon, the key thing is infrastructure and services. Amazon is what? 5 out of the 6 things listed under infrastructure?
Yes. Big deal.
Big deal.
See, sometimes things don't need to be all out there in the open. Sometimes it can just be hidden in plain sight. But the question is, do you have the eyes to see the future? Ladies and gentlemen, all we wanted to do was to help you see the future and why autonomous vehicles, trucking, lane access, all of these different sectors are going to be shooken up to be changed for the 4th Industrial Revolution. Ladies and gentlemen, we're going to just take you to this last video and we're going to wind it on out. The UPS self-driving delivery trucks are on the road. So if they are already on the road, who do you think, what protocol do you think they are using to track these autonomous vehicles? I don't care about no goddamn Telegram group. That's short-sightedness. Nobody cares about a Telegram group. Does Twitter have a Telegram group? Does JP Morgan? Let's go.
While you're still waiting for that package that was supposed to be delivered on Monday, UPS has been secretly hauling cargo using self-driving trucks. That's right, the company has put its minority stake in automated trucking startup TuSimple to work. For over 3 months, self-driving trucks have been hauling cargo back and forth between Phoenix and Tucson, Arizona. The tractor trailers are outfitted with 9 cameras as well as LiDAR sensors, spinning contraptions often attached to the roofs of self-driving vehicles to help them see. The fleet is designed as level 4 autonomous trucking, which means all operations are automated. The driver and engineer are only on board as a fallback. The effort aims to reduce the cost of shipping by 30%, likely by eventually removing the human occupants once technology has been perfected. This isn't UPS's first foray into autonomous navigation. Earlier in the year, the company announced a program that will deliver medicine over short distances via drones. Meanwhile, FedEx has revealed an adorable robot for same-day deliveries, and Domino's is planning to use Neuro self-driving R2 vehicles later in the year.
Real quick, FedEx is partnered with XYO. Domino's is partnered with Singularity Net. Ladies and gentlemen, what may seem separate is all working in conjunction.
In other words, you're going to start seeing a lot more robots sometime in the near future. We just hope you keep your prejudices to yourself. Thanks for watching, and remember to like and subscribe to Engadget.
Yeah, and like and subscribe to Bigger Than Race, ladies and gentlemen. Any closing remarks, Byron?
Yeah, actually, that video was the perfect one. Like, for the normal eye person, they would say, "Oh, FedEx and UPS are doing the same thing," but how are they doing it?
Right.
We just connected it right here in this video. It all started with Dev. Dev to XYO. Dev is handling UPS. XYO is doing FedEx. Boom.
Boom. Now, is the wizardry? Is the wizardry real, Byron? Is it real?
No, it is. It is very real. Very real. And you know, being a part of this community, it helps everybody be wizards. Like, you know, what one person. The beautiful thing about being a community is what I may not see, somebody else may see, and they mention it. And being that, you know, you got it locked up in the back of your head, we're like, hey, wait a minute, I remember something. And it's, folks, to tell you the truth, this is how this DAV connection came about. Just because of DAV and knowing what they were doing, hey, look, we looking out and listening out for what's out there. And lane access in my opinion is bullish. The only people doing it. And, you know, and this will only happen. This will only multiply and happen hundreds of times over, because again, for this new economy, look, stock market's not going to go away. How are they going to supplement? It's going to be a merging of blockchain and Wall Street. So,
ladies and gentlemen, it's a merger of Wall Street and blockchain. If you want to get on my street, I'm coming to your street. We're going to make money on everybody's street because we are all over. We're not just in crypto, ladies and gentlemen. We are on platforms that you can invest in private companies before they go public. This is how you position yourself for the generational wealth. Ladies and gentlemen, if you are not in the Patreon group, please do yourself a favor and join. The market is now going back up, ladies and gentlemen. And you know what? The funny thing is, share the story. We were having a conversation and we were talking about the market crash. Cut off the phone and the market doesn't crash. But it's good. We are already now recovering. And ladies and gentlemen, if you don't have any DAV, any XYO, or any lane access, these are 2-3 assets that should be added to your portfolio. You don't have to believe us. Just come back later and say we were right, because you will see us in our cyber trucks bought with DAV. Now,
indeed,
Byron, I want to thank you for being a part of the community. I want to thank you for taking your time out and just coming here and sharing this information. This was a long episode. It was a doozy, but we got it accomplished. You guys don't have a lot of time if you want to get invested in the company lane access and or the token to take advantage of the discounted rate. But it's been real, ladies and gentlemen. You know who this is. This is your boy, Brand. Investigate truth on your own terms. Be out.